One decision from Rassie Erasmus has suddenly turned the spotlight toward Buenos Aires, because the Springboks are preparing for a one-off test against Los Pumas, and this time the biggest story may not be the players staying in South Africa, but the players being trusted to make their mark in Argentina. Rassie Erasmus is expected to name a 26-man squad on Saturday, but before that squad is even officially announced, the Springboks coach has already dropped enough clues to give rugby fans a fascinating picture of what is coming. And behind those clues is a simple but important message. The players who have carried the biggest workload will stay home, while the players who need valuable game time will get their chance under the lights in Buenos Aires. That could make this test one of the most interesting selection challenges of the season. The Springboks are not simply picking a team to win one match. They are balancing player fitness, workload, form, injuries, leadership and preparation for what comes next. And that is exactly where Rassie Erasmus has shown his ability to think several moves ahead. The situation has already been made more difficult by injuries. Quagga Smith and R.G. Snyman have been ruled out for the remainder of 2026, while star prop Ox Ench and experienced utility forward Franco Mostert are also not fit enough to make the trip to Argentina. Those absences immediately change the shape of the squad and opportunities for others to step forward. At the same time, Pieter-Steph du Toit, who captained the Springboks during the Nations Championship, is expected to remain in South Africa as part of the group preparing for the upcoming All Black Series. And that decision tells us everything about the strategy behind this trip. Rassie Erasmus explained that the players who have already received enough game time through the URC and the first 3 tests against England, Scotland, and Wales will remain at home, while those who still need minutes will travel. In other words, Argentina is not simply another stop on the schedule. It is an opportunity. It is a chance for players to prove they are ready when the pressure arrives, and for the coaching staff to see how combinations perform in a real test environment. As Erasmus put it, the guys who need game time will go to Argentina, and then he added a line that immediately caught attention: "You do the math." That may sound simple, but in the world of international rugby, it says a lot. The coaching staff already know which players are fresh, which players have been heavily used, and which players need another test at the highest level. One of the clearest clues involves the scrum half position. Cobus Renock is set to start, while Morn van den Berg is expected to come off the bench and receive valuable minutes, with Herschel Jantjies providing the backup. That rotation could be crucial, because in a demanding test match against Los Pumas, tempo, decision-making and control around the breakdown can completely change the direction of a game. Then there is the biggest question surrounding Handré Pollard. If the experienced fly half has fully recovered from his hamstring strain, he will travel to South America. But if there is even a hint of doubt, Vusi Moyo is expected to take the flight instead. It is a reminder that selection is not only about reputation. It is about readiness. There is no room for unnecessary risk when a long international season still lies ahead, and while some stars will remain in South Africa, several major names are still expected to feature against Argentina. Eben Etzebeth and Lud de Jager are likely to bring immense experience into the second row, while Captain Siya Kolisi is expected to lead the side once again. Around them, Sacha Feinberg-Mngomezulu, Ethan Hooker, Canan Moodie, and Andre Esterhuizen are set to play important roles. That mixture of experience and opportunity could become the defining feature of the match. At the same time, the absence of Ox Ench has created another opening, with Nthuko Mchunu potentially joining the traveling squad. On the wing, Edwil van der Merwe looks set to get his chance, while Cheslin Colby is likely to be part of the group staying home. At fullback, Aphelele Fassi could receive another opportunity to rebuild his confidence and show the attacking quality that has made him such an exciting talent, with Quan Horn providing utility cover from the bench. Put all those clues together, and the likely matchday team begins to take shape. Aphelele Fassi at fullback, Edwil van der Merwe and Ethan Hooker on the wings, Canan Moodie and Andre Esterhuizen in the midfield, Sacha Feinberg-Mngomezulu at fly half, with Cobus Renock at scrum half. Up front, Ilrai Lucar Lusadi, Johan Grobbelaar, and Bowen Venter would complete the starting front row. On the bench, names such as Marco van Staden, Jan-Hendrik Wessels, Zachary Porthen, Vincent Chituka, Cameron Hinkum, Morn van den Berg, and Quan Horn could provide an energetic second wave, while the final decision between Vusi Moyo and Handré Pollard could depend entirely on fitness. And that is where the story becomes bigger than just one predicted lineup. For the Springboks, this is about building depth without losing their edge. It is about making sure experienced players are protected while the next group gets enough exposure to pressure situations. Ben Jason Dixon and Captain Siya Kolisi could form the loose forward combination, with Lud de Jager and Eben Etzebeth providing experience in the engine room. It is also about creating competition, because every player who receives a chance in Buenos Aires knows there is another battle waiting back home. The All Blacks series is already on the horizon, and performances against Los Pumas could influence who enters that next phase in the strongest position. For some players, this may be their opportunity to turn a good season into a breakthrough moment. For others, it may be the chance to remind everyone why they belong at international level. And for Rassie Erasmus, it is another test of his ability to manage one of the deepest squads in world rugby. Argentina will not make it easy. Los Pumas have built a reputation for playing with physicality, emotion, and intensity, and a one-off test in Buenos Aires can demand everything from a visiting team. That is why the selection decisions matter so much. The Springboks may be resting some of their biggest names, but they are not treating this match lightly. They are sending players who need the challenge, players hungry for minutes, players with something to prove, and experienced leaders who can keep the performance under control. That combination could make this team unpredictable in the best possible way. The message from Rassie Erasmus is clear: opportunity is waiting, but so is responsibility. The players flying to Argentina will have to earn every moment, every meter, and every decision. And when the Springboks walk onto the field in Buenos Aires, they will carry more than just the weight of another test match. They will carry the expectations of a team preparing for the battles ahead, while every player will know that one strong performance can change the conversation around their place in the squad. The final 26-man selection will reveal the full picture, but the clues are already there. The big names may be staying behind, but the spotlight is moving toward the next wave. And now, all that remains is to see who turns Rassie Erasmus hints into a statement performance against Los Pumas.